Well, the Dow Jones dropped 678 points today to close below 9,000. And with just 26 days to go to Election Day, is the falling economy hurting McCain's and all Republicans' chances of winning in November? U.S. Congressman Jim Moran's a Democrat from Virginia, and U.S. Congresswoman Heather Wilson is a Republican from New Mexico. Congresswoman Wilson, you're on the show all the time. I want to ask you, let's just look at this comment here from Obama first. It's what he said today about Senator McCain's plan for the government to buy bad mortgages.
His first response to the housing crisis in March was that homeowners shouldn't get any help at all. Then a few weeks ago, he put out a plan that basically ignored homeowners. Now, in the course of 12 hours, he's ended up with a plan that punishes taxpayers, rewards banks, and won't solve our housing crisis. But this is the kind of erratic behavior we've been seeing out of Senator McCain.
Well, there we go, Congresswoman. Where are the Republicans going to go in this economic situation between now and Election Day?
Sounds like Senator Obama is getting more and more desperate. The fact is that it was Senator Obama who said he didn't see a problem with subprime loans. And the bill that we passed in the Congress and that John McCain supported allows the government to go in and not just buy the paper, the securities, but buy the mortgages and allow people to reduce their payments and stay in their homes. I don't understand why Barack Obama wants to bail out banks but doesn't want to help the homeowners. That should be our top priority. And John McCain said that should be our top priority in the debate on Tuesday night.
Congressman Moran, how does this war over the economy, I mean, we're on like the Titanic, it seems. It just keeps sinking. Every afternoon we get the bad news.
Yeah, the market is crashing. This is a stock market crash, and it's in the middle of a recession. We've got to prevent a global depression. But with regard to this plan, Chris, of course, we'll probably have a new plan next week because we've had 3 different plans in about 3 weeks.
Do something like Senator McCain wants to do?
Well, what I want to tell you is this is insane. What Senator McCain would do is to have the federal taxpayer buy every bad loan at 100% of value and then guarantee it. What we passed was legislation that said if a bank is willing to write down the loan as much as 15% and make the terms so that the homeowner can pay them, then in return we will guarantee that loan. That's what the Treasury Department can do. It's what Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac can do. We're already doing that. But to say we will buy up every bad loan in the country for hundreds of billions of dollars, what we are doing is rewarding the very people that shouldn't have made these loans in the first place.
What is the proposal, Congresswoman, that McCain is offering in this regard?
The proposal is to look at people who, through no fault of their own, end up upside down on their mortgages, where they've got a down payment, where they had good credit, didn't lie on their forms, and they end up with a house with a bigger mortgage than what it's worth. I think that those folks should be a priority to work out that mortgage rather than just defaulting on it, declaring bankruptcy, so they can stay in their homes. And that is part of the bill.
Isn't this the story?
That the Treasury Secretary has authorized to do. So
that was what he was proposing.
In their homes and not on Wall Street.
His plan would pay 100% of the mortgage's value. These mortgages are trading at 50, sometimes 20% of value. Why should the taxpayer pay 100%, rewarding the banks themselves? That's the problem. They're not worth 100% today. I looked at the plan, Heather. What we did made sense. The other problem is not practical. These mortgages have been broken up into different tranches. They've been sliced and diced. You can't put them together. What Senator Obama wanted to do was this: write down the loan, and in return, a bank will get it guaranteed by the government, but not have the taxpayer on the hook for every single mortgage that's out there around the country. It's insane.
What should we do to end this?
I want to know.
Check it out, Heather.
To kick people out on the street while he's saving his Wall Street friends.
That's rhetoric. I want to see the plan.
We've lost $9 trillion in wealth over the space of a year in the market. $9 trillion in value. And a lot of that's retirement money, 401k money, perhaps the $3 to $4 trillion of that. This is real loss of dreams for people. This is something that they worked 34 years. They got the kids through college, and then they started saving money for themselves, maybe 5 or 10 years if they're lucky of that kind of saving. drying up almost a third, or more than almost 40% of that's now gone. It might come back and come some kind of rebound, but people are looking to elected officials to try to do something dramatic. Congresswoman, do you believe that something dramatic has been done or not? Have we done the heavy lifting yet?
Well, I think that we've got to. What we try to do is stabilize the credit markets, and in some ways the stock market is a trailing indicator. That's people looking forward and saying, are these companies going to be profitable in the future? The big problem with small business was they weren't getting the lines of credit to be able to, you get a job to do a plumbing job. If you don't have a line of credit from your bank, you can't buy the pipe to hire the guys to do the job.
My concern is
the key is unfreezing the credit markets, and it's going to be a rough road, but it's a whole lot less rough given the bill that the Congress passed last week.
Do you think, Congressman Moran, I'm sorry, I got to move. Congressman, do you believe we've done the heavy lifting yet? Have we done the big part of the job yet by passing that bill last week?
As Senator Obama said in that famous White House meeting, which was pretty much the same point that you just made, we've got to help out the homeowner. This has to be about the homeowner, and that's why we put provisions into this bill to enable the Federal Reserve to help these homeowners stay in their home. That was something Democrats put in at Senator Obama's request. We just need to implement it. The problem is that it's going to take 2 weeks at least to implement it, and another 6 weeks before we see the impact.
Well, let me ask you, Congressman, to make a political estimate. Do you believe a Republican can win the presidential election in these times? Is it possible?
Absolutely. I mean, when there's problems with the economy, it always kind of doesn't help the party in power and the presidency, even though the real responsibility for this, Jim, rests primarily with Democrats in Congress who refuse to regulate Fannie and Freddie when Republicans said this is way too loose.
Heather,
and it's
when
still
Senator Phil Gramm, the chairman of the banking committee,
it's still a tight
insisted
race.
upon deregulation. That's nonsense. You had the Congress for 12 years. You've had the White House for 8 years.
Okay.
Come on,
Generally speaking, are the Democrats pro-regulation, the Republicans anti-regulation, Congresswoman? Generally speaking, I thought Republicans were laissez-faire, less government in our lives, less regulation, less taxes. I thought that was your party philosophy.
In general, that is true, but there was Republicans in the Congress and also the administration that said we need to change the way in which we monitor and regulate these institutions, and we need to tighten up on Freddie and Fannie. And it was Democrats in the Congress who said, no, we think this is fine, including a guy named Senator Barack Obama.
This administration filled every regulatory post with somebody that had an anti-regulatory bias. And that's why we're in the situation we're in.
The heads of Freddie and Fannie are supporting Barack Obama and have given more to his campaign than any other senator in the last 20 years.
Okay.